Hi, I'm Tim Nesmith, Ship Superintendent and Educational Outreach Coordinator for the USS KIDD Veterans Museum. Welcome to Kid Bits, the museum's video resource series for educators and students. You know, sailors have a language all their own. They use words and phrases that are very different and have different meanings from what you and I use as landlubbers. Landlubbers is a term I'm going to make you look up. So, to prepare you for future visits to the museum or future videos that you'll see here on YouTube, we've prepared this short tutorial to help you better translate from sailor to civilian. Now pay attention because there might be a quiz afterwards.
Most doors aboard ship, particularly those on the exterior, are known as watertight doors. The door has a gasket on its perimeter. When closed, it pushes against a metal rim on the door frame to seal tightly against intrusion by water. A dog is a lever on the perimeter of the door frame that wedges the door tightly into place to make it watertight. A hatch is a vertical entry into the ship, accessing downward to a ladder to the lower levels. An easy way to tell the difference between them is that a watertight door is in the wall, whereas a hatch is in the floor. Some hatches are quite large and have a smaller round portal called a scuttle in its center. This allows you to enter and exit quickly without having to lift the whole hatch. The floor aboard ship is known as the deck. A wall is known as a bulkhead, and the ceiling is known as the overhead. A window aboard ship is known as a porthole. The front of the ship is known as the bow. It is also called the forecastle, which is a shortened term for forecastle. Forecastle comes from the age of sail in medieval times when the front and backs of warships had raised decks for archers, formed almost like castles. The rear of the ship is called the stern. It is also known as the fantail. When giving directions aboard ship, everything is given relative to your position when facing the front of the ship, the bow. So anything moving or facing toward the bow is forward. Anything facing or moving away from the bow is aft. The right side of the ship is the starboard side. The left side of the ship is the port side. An easy way to remember port from starboard is that port and left both have 4 letters. Even if you're facing aft, the directions for left and right remain the same relative to the bow. Going downstairs on a ship is going below decks or below. Going upstairs is going above decks or above. When climbing a mast or a smokestack, you're going aloft. Bitts are twin posts found on the main deck used to tie the ship to a dock, a pier, or another ship. Chocks are oval-shaped devices on the main deck that mooring lines are run through as it leaves the ship. Their edges are smooth and rounded so that the rope, or line, does not fray and break on a sharp edge. A single post bit is called a bollard and is also used to secure mooring lines to the ship. Cleats can be found on the deck or on something called davits. Like bits, cleats are used to secure a rope or line in place. You've probably seen them on flagpoles. Davits are curved posts that usually hold pulleys and are used to move heavy objects. Halyards are ropes, or lines, that are strung from the yardarm, the horizontal beam on the mast, and are used to raise and lower flags. Speaking of flags, the national flag flown aboard a ship is known as the naval ensign. named after the lowest ranking officer who's responsible for its care. The Naval Jack for the United States is the stars minus the stripes of the U.S. flag. It's had multiple designs over the years. The black skull and crossbones pirate flag flying from Kidd's mast is known as the Jolly Roger. Kidd was given official permission to fly this non regulation flag due to the request of her sponsor, Mrs. Inez Kidd. The second and third ships to bear the Kidd name, DDG 993 and DDG 100, were also allowed this honor.
So there you go. You might not be fluent now in sailor speak, but you should be able to follow along with the conversation, catch the basics. We'll do a more advanced course a little bit later on, help you strike a rate. That's right, I'm not going to give you that one either. You got to look up strike a rate. USS KIDD Veterans Museum is a nonprofit educational organization that receives no regular state or federal funding. To book your next field trip or overnight camping experience, or to access our teacher resources, click on the links below. And remember, hit that subscribe button. Actually, don't hit it. You might break your phone or your computer or your iPad. Just tap it. We'll see you next time.